start for Manchester United. The media haven't covered this. You were talking here about two clubs that have gone into the Champions League, Spurs and Newcastle. We've just touched on there how it's very difficult for them to attract any players. Tottenham have had the same problem with Gibbs White, Eze. You'd think they got a £60,000 shiny stadium. They're in the Champions League. God knows how. You'd think they'd be able to attract players. What's going on in football that means that even if you're in the Champions League now, and if you're not City, Arsenal, Chelsea or Liverpool, you can't, and I'm assuming this is about wage structure. Rooney, I'll ask you this one. It's not, is it really about being a true elite club? I mean, even Manchester United, take it in the right way, May, are a shambles or have been for the last 2 or 3 years. You've got no European football, yet I'm not convinced that Tottenham or Newcastle could have attracted Cunha and what's the other kid, Sesko. So unless you're a true elite club now, which is what's going to drive us towards the Super League, is it just wages, Rooney? Is it? What is it that's happening, and what's this mean for football? Because the other teams are just going to drop. They're never going to be able to compete. We're going to end up like a Scottish league.
Yeah, but I think there's depends on the player, depends on the position. There's a real lack of strikers worldwide at the minute. So it means if you are a decent striker, you can pretty much name which club you want to go to. I think when you look at what's happened with Spurs, what's happened with Newcastle, the attraction for Newcastle would have been silverware last year, Champions League this year, and one of the most iconic forwards spearheading it. I think as soon as it became apparent he wasn't going to be there, it does lose some of its luster. The rest of the players, you look at it, they're not a bad team, but are they going to be guaranteed top four this year? Guaranteed, eh? Will they fight for it? I'm sure. And if you're in the elite level of player now, you almost want to assure yourself of that. So Isak to Liverpool, Gyökeres to Arsenal. To a lesser degree, the exception is the United players, but they're trading on past history and prestige of the club, understandably, and increased and inflated salaries. But I'm sure with the likes of Amarin saying, we're only going to be at this for 12 months. Believe me, 12 months, we're going to be on top four. If not, we're not top four, we're top six. We'll be top four next year. And he'll have sold where he wants to get them. But I do think the reality is the top players, they're few and far between now. And if they are going to go anywhere in the Premier League, they're going to go to what are the recognised, likely top four.
So what you're really saying is, unless you're an Isak or an Eze or a, whatever is perceived to be, a high-end player, that people are going to spend 50, 60, 70 plus million on, for those lesser clubs. I mean, the Brentford, they after Ollie Watkins, after Ivan Toney, they find Wissa and what's the other kid that's just gone to you? Yeah. They're reliant on digging these out at the level of a Manchester United, class of 92 level to even remain and compete. And therefore you are going to be left with these four clubs. And with PSR, I mean, even Newcastle, with all their money, then you might say, who wants to live in Newcastle, the geography of it, and you want to live in London and all that jazz. How are they going to attract? Because the only player I've seen they've done that with is Bruno, great player. But you would have expected him to have gone as well. Matt, why? What do you do if you've got a club, you can't attract these kind of players, you can't compete, and even if you get Champions League and have a bumper season, or come in through the back door like Tottenham, you still can't sign the players. I mean, what's this mean for the future of football?
I think what you say, I think it does mean a hell of a lot when geographical wise, player who wants to live in Newcastle, let's be honest. I mean, what is the pull of living in Newcastle? these players have got families and stuff they're going to bring over. It could be their parents, could be wives and kids. They're not going to want to live in Newcastle. With Spurs, I'll be honest, with Spurs, when they obviously then got linked with Mbemo, because of obviously the Frank link with him and taking him there, I was actually worried that he would go to Tottenham because he knows the manager. He's going to play the same way. He's going to be a success and he's going to get Champions League football. I was worried he was going to go there.
I think Wissa will do that.
Do you think?
Hmm.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I just don't think so. Man United is Man United. It's a global. You know, we've been useless for years now, but there's obviously something that's being told to these players that is still attracting these guys to go, right, this is the lead project, and we're going to go forward, and we want you to be that part of that driving it forward. And I think you've got to have the right people.
There's another side to this though, Matt. Like, if you're a player, you and I this weekend talked about Danny Drinkwater. Leaves Leicester, was it, 10 years ago, goes to Chelsea, doesn't get a game, his career's over, right? Yeah. So is there it's saying Gibbs White, is he really worth 60, 70, 80 million that they were prepared to pay? And if you're a Gakpo and you're playing on the left wing and they bring in Isak comes in and he moves Ekitike out onto the left wing. You've got Gakpo, who arguably I think had his best season so far, Paul. You know, he's not going to get the minutes. He's not going to develop. And okay, but do you play football to sit on the bench or get 20 minutes here and there for the top club? Or would you rather play for a Newcastle or a Tottenham and play more minutes, get the team and get that consistency and develop yourself? And is there a little bit of this young culture that want everything tomorrow? Why not, you know, if you're 21, 22, 23, be playing for a club like that, you know? And then when as you get a bit older, then, you know, like Trent has, wanted to go to a better club, you know, you move on. You know, what this is what I'm saying is that aren't you wasting your career as a football? If you really love football, Paul, do you want to go and sit and play 20 minutes every week, or do you want to play 90 minutes every week?
To the point you've just made there, what is it now? Arsenal got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers, and I think Nwaneri is going to be position 8.
What do you mean?
In the pecking order.
He's position 2.
For what?
He's bought as I believe as a left winger, which means he's
he hasn't bought him as a left winger.
He has.
He can play left wing.
Well, you think he's bought him to knock out Odegaard?
Yeah.
He's going to drop his captain.
Well, I think he's going to move.
Any other manager might. I'll tell you now, Arteta won't.
No, he'll play inside left.
Right. Well, you've got the chance of unrest there then. You really have.
I think it is the modern game. You know, the Arsenal first team, Arsenal second team, there shouldn't be a lot between them, and either one of those teams should be able to win.
Well, so the point you raised, though, I think it was discussed this morning. I forget who it was. It might have been Troy Deeney on Talk Sport, but saying he was amazed Eze's gone to Arsenal. He understands the childhood link and all the rest of it. But he said it's World Cup year. If he goes to Spurs, he plays every minute all season. And if he has a great season, he's nailed on for England, as opposed to him going to Arsenal and probably not playing every minute.
He's also, but Paul, you're playing with blinkers on. He ain't getting in front of Real Madrid player. What's his name? I don't rate him. He's not getting in front of Bellingham, and if it's not Bellingham there, he's got numerous other players that he'd play in front of Eze. He will walk into the England team on the left wing.
Yeah.
He'll have to get past Madueke first.
Well, exactly. So he'll walk into the England team on the left wing. And therefore, if I was him, I'll go, I only need to play very well on the left wing. Actually, if you look at his goals, you know, he can play there.
Can I just ask a question, though? Why did you buy Madueke then?
Not a clue.
Well, you said it earlier, Mark. Strength and depth. You need good players.
I'm not even convinced where he adds depth, Matt.
Or strength.
Well, you need strength and depth to win a league. You need strength and depth, and you need players that can step in and do a job. Donny Madueke will do
I think
more.
some branded hairbands might be quite popular for Arsenal this year. Woberse and Madueke.
Yeah, but I think Mark, I agree. I think Eze would go inside left, drift in and out, balance it up with Saka, and
Can I just interject something that's quite funny? It's just come in on TalkSport. Morgan Gibbs has opened up to say why he didn't move to Chelsea. He didn't move because there were complications with his fiance's pregnancy, and this was a major factor for staying for Forest. How on earth do you feel if you're a Forest fan? If you heard that, so because all that tells me is he wanted to go, it was just a bit tricky, so he didn't.
Yeah, but disregard for Manchester United football. The media haven't covered this.